And we are back with the next video. So we are picking up where we left off after looting Ground Zero and completing a bunch of those different quests. We thought that we did complete all the quests on Ground Zero. However, this quest right here, as you can see in a minute, saving them all, is bugged. So what we did is we didn't do this first one straight away. We located the lab scientist on Ground Zero. We unlocked the room because that scientist did have the key. We got the hard drive and we thought, okay, that's all we need to do is actually extract that and hand it in. But then when we got out of the raid, we found that we had to do this one. So that one wasn't ticked. So we thought, okay, as soon as we do this one, the quest is done, then we can complete that one. However, we did this one, went out of the raid, and then it says we still have to access the scientist's office, which we have already done. So it is a bit bugged. We're going to try and attempt to do that now. So as you can see here, we have all the loot that we got from the last raid. So what I'm going to do now is actually just put it all in my stash here. I have did a bit of stash management here, just by organizing all my gear down the bottom and my weapons and stuff. So I'll do that as well. But what I'll do is I'll show you what I will be selling and then what I'm going to be holding on to in my stash just for later quests or the hideout. Okay, so just notice that we have all the items for the med station here. So we have our syringe, we have a pile of meds, we have 2 bandages, and we have our multivitamins here. It also takes 50,000 rubles to construct. We want to get this going just so we can actually start crafting salivas if we can't find them in raids. We're going to do that now. That's all done, and then all we have to do now is have 2 of these tourniquets and 2 car medkits to start this. But what we need to do to start this is actually have the generator on. So we need to actually have security done, which we need to find a measuring tape, and then once we've got the measuring tape done, then we can get the generator, and we need a spark plug here. So it says we need security 1, so we need the measuring tape for that. Once that's constructed, we need a spark plug, and then we can construct this. Once that is done, then we can put our fuel in that we've already got. We've got 2 fuel tanks here. You can find them in raid as well, so if you do find them, you need that then for the generator. Put them into your hideout, and then you can turn on the generator and then start crafting some stuff in your hideout. Because these are the things we are going to sell to therapists. You can see we get a bit of cash with this one. We are going to sell the factory plan map because the maps in game are not very good, and we could just use ones on the Escape from Tarkov Wiki page. This is what we're going to be selling to mechanic. So we have our pistol and a sight or a scope here that's zoomed in quite a bit. We can't actually use this yet because we need a mount for it. I don't usually use these ones anyway, so I usually just sell them to get some more cash. Okay, so these are our quests that are active. So we are doing saving the mole, so we need to go back into Ground Zero. I'll just quickly go through that. I won't go through the entire raid, but I'll just kind of show you the highlights of that. Me trying to attempt this. Hopefully that works after that, and then we can actually start going on to these other quests. We have shortage, we need 2 more salivas, so whether we find them in raid or we craft them in the hideout by upgrading those certain stations. We also have debut, so we need to get 5 scavs on any map and hand over 1 more MP133 shoddy. So hopefully when we go on Ground Zero, we get a few scavs there, and then one of them has that shotgun. There's somebody over here, I actually don't know. Alright, I know where we are now. Scav. No one's been inside. Otherwise that would be open. Okay, spawn again for us. That's fine. We'll just hand that in as is. I'm not going to save the flashlight at all. We do have the hard drive. We've got 2 of them now. So we go to mechanic. We'll turn that in. Complete that. Now we're up to Gunsmith Part 1, so we need to actually build an MP133 shotgun. So we need to build it a certain way. You can go into the Tarkov Wiki, and I'll show you a build to do in order to complete this. I'm also going to do introduction as well. So this is where we unlock Jaeger. So we need to go to Woods now. We need to get the letter on Woods and then extract that letter, and then we should be able to unlock Jaeger. Before we head on to Woods, we are going to make sure our energy and hydration is topped up. So we will use an MRA here. So this gives you plus 70 energy, so that will do. So we'll use all, and then we might use some of that water that we used last time. If I can find it right here. And we just need 10 of that. Now we're good to go. Okay, we have spawned in on Woods. Now if you are playing at home, you try to identify where we are on the map. We are spawned near a bunch of trees, and we have a massive mountain here. So in a few moments, feel free to pause the video and try and identify where you are located on the rough general area. And then yeah, in a few moments I will show you the correct spawn location. Alright, so we are located right here on the map, which is smack bang in the middle, which is good for us because we actually need to go in this direction near the broken plane in order to get our item, which is the letter for Jaeger. And the way to go about this is trying to find the plane itself. So if you just run in this direction, we do have some shots over here in that direction in the village. I preferably like to use a scope on this map because you tend to get engaged in long range gunfights. We are a month and a half into the wipe, so a lot of people pretty much completed the game, or at least the ones that are actually playing quite a bit. So they're going to have better gear than us. So we'll have to just make do with our standard MDR with a EOTech sight. So this is the back of the plane here. You can get a bit of loot here. So just got pineapple juice and vodka. And it looks like we have some Jack Daniels whiskey here too. Alright, so we're coming up to the little shack that we need to go to. Just be mindful of different spawns. Since we are in the middle of the map, people are going to be rotating towards us. This is the shack right here that we need. And the letter should be at the base of this. So it is right here. Subtask, bottom right. Alright, I'm just going to take a peek up here. Because you usually get some players coming around this way. Especially from the train station side, pushing over this way into the little camp over here. Alright, so what we do have is bridge v extraction and outskirts. So we'll try and see if the car is still up. I think this map, the car always spawns. So we might head that way. There were some shots down there, so we know that there's players over near the village. We'll just try and play it a bit cautiously. Not necessarily engage in those gunfights because the players are most likely going to be higher level than us with better gear. But there's going to be times where we do end up dying, so there's still people over there. Sounds like Scav maybe. Scav shooting a player. I'm just going to use this tree line here to try and have as much cover as possible. Can be people over to my right who have spawned in as well. So I'm just going to be continuously scanning, taking in all the knowledge I can, all the gunshots. That weapon is not suppressed either, which means there could be a lower player. And there is a sniper as well, so potentially a player sniping scabs. We're just going to sprint, hold the mouse wheel in and in free look around you. I'm going to get the top of this hill here. You see, I'm looking over to my right as well, where the player spawns are going to be. There's no point looking for someone on the left just yet. Unless they have spawned in, they go onto the top of the hill, which you can go onto, that little mountain. Good vantage point. So we do need to be cautious of that, but this early on in, we'll be looking at the outside of the map as they'll be coming towards us. Alright, so we do need to get through here to the village. Around this area you can kind of find a lot of hideout items. I'm not going to run straight through here. I'm actually going to take a wider angle here. Alright, there are shots near the hill. I reckon they're probably at the base of the hill, so there isn't a player that has rotated that way. Alright, this is when map knowledge comes in, knowing where the loot spawns. Am I at the wrong place? Do they not always spawn there anymore? Usually a hidden stash there. Maybe this is where map knowledge doesn't come in. Alright, so I'm kind of just rotating around the outside here. This is one of the checkpoints here, one of the extracts. We're going to take a wide angle because there shouldn't be any players here just yet. Going to try and keep all the information in front of us. So we are playing a bit safer here. A lot of these houses and buildings you can get some decent loot. Shots in the middle of the lumberyard. Alright, so we shouldn't really see any scavs in this area here. So if you do see movement, there's most likely going to be a player. I'll take the top of the hill so we can look down. Still walking around the edge of the map. Still be mindful of the shots we heard over here towards the village. And taking note of those gunshots as well, so they weren't suppressed. Single fire weapon and a sniper. Be scavs and a player. So they've probably gone into the village to loot, I'd say. Otherwise they're back on this hill here shooting in towards the village trying to get those scavs. Alright, so we go to this rock here. And all we're going to do here is just try and get some information. I'm just using my sight here with the scope in to see a better angle, better view. Not seeing any movement. They can be inside those fences, inside the houses too. So I'm just going to wait a little bit to see if we find any movement. Check the extracts. Alright, the extract is being used right now, so that player is getting out. Probably isn't a bad thing for us. Means we can probably loot around here. Once that turns red, the car extractor has been used, which means we have to go to outskirts. I don't want to pick too far here because the car extractor is just behind that bus there. Alright, he is out. Let's just kill the scav. Scav in this direction here. A bit inside, there he is. Okay, he did not die. Might push my way. Okay, I'm just gonna try and peg this pushing me because I cannot see in the bushes. Push wider. There he goes. Jeez, he's screaming. Repack our mag, so it's ready to go for the next fight in case we do need to use these. Last thing we want is to have no ammo. Alright, so we need one more scav. Gonna look all across the street. We're gonna go prone. We need the shoddy for the gunsmith quest, so we may as well take that in. We'll take the cash. Alright, level 4. Let's take that over the packer. It's going to increase our weight a little bit. I'm going to drop that. Don't need it. I'm going to use the pineapple juice to top our levels up here. Just while we are in this screen here. Right. We've increased our armor. But we do weigh a little bit more now. I'm going to go into this house here. Take a bit of a loot. Taking all these food and drink items, can be handy to have. Should be okay for now. Alright, we're going to move on to the next house. Still listening out for another scav that may spawn in. Alright, because we are overweight and we are sprinting, we're actually leveling up our strength as well. Shots towards the middle again. I see shots behind me at that first area that we found. That we're overlooking near the Jaeger letter. Over here. Can actually jump over this. This has been looted, this place here. Because there's usually a first item in every container that you loot. So if there's a spot, so this one here hasn't been looted. So if there's that top left box is empty, then it has been looted by a player. I'll give you some information that people have been here, which we already knew through the shots. Get it open here. Alright, there's been looted as well. Alright, and quickly moving out of this area because we are out in the open. Now we shouldn't find any scavs here just yet. We do need to go to the other side of the map. So the way we go about this is probably going to the hill and then looking down, because I know there's a sniper scav that spawns on top there. He may be still up for us. Not sure, I just saw something over here. Gotta be cautious going through here, so I'm gonna use the tree line as much as possible. Trying to avoid the trees because they make a lot of noise. So right now I'm just kind of making my way to the hill. Top of the mountain. See if that sniper scav is there to get that last scav kill. And then we'll start rotating towards the outskirts extract. Kind of tricky here because we need to go through pretty much everyone, but I guess if we take the right pathing, we can try and avoid other players and try and be a bit smarter about it, try and anticipate where they're located. Alright, so I'm just going to get to this next rock here, that's why I'm sprinting. Still want to have some stamina on the bottom left there, in case we do need to sprint away and get into cover. Alright, shots pretty much right in front of me. They're in the lumberyard, I think. Alright, this is probably where we can start running into players if they're heading up here as well. So head on a swivel here. Try and make it as little noise as possible. Don't want to sprint too much up here in case there are players already up here. Alright, there's obviously players down this side. A lot happening in the lumberyard. I'm not seeing sniper scav on top of that rock, which means he's probably down. Okay, look for scavs down these rocks here. There's a bit going on over here. So taking that knowledge in, We probably don't want to push down the hill there. Let's see if this has been looted. Doesn't look like it has. So where we spawn is actually like directly below this mountain here too. Alright, so what we're going to do is actually go around this way. Still watching your back, making sure no one's coming up the rear. You might be getting people who spawned on this side of the map, coming up the hill here. Auto gun inside the lumberyard again. Still more shots in there. Alright, so it's making your way down the base of the mountain. PP ammo is not too bad. Still shots over the left. So we're just going to go straight past that. There's no need to actually loot the lumberyard or get into any fights yet. Just pausing to see if we can hear any noise. If we don't. Alright, we're going to get to a bit of a road here, so I'm going to save my stamina up. Alright, so they're more apt but need the spine and lumber. So the left side of lumber to me. Alright, it's a bit of a road here. We're going to try and get to the next set of rocks here. So we're going to save the stamina up and try and get across. Looking both ways, see if anyone's crossing, getting information. Bit of a pause here in the trees. Bit of a look at the top, make sure no one's there. No one to the right, no one to the left. Alright, let's get up here. Now there could be some up here already, so they're going to hear us sprinting up. But it's really worth getting into that cover. You can see the sniper scout from this angle as well. Probably do not see him. So that middle mountain there is probably your biggest landmark. If you find that, you can kind of try and pinpoint where you are on the map. Which is probably one of the most difficult ones to try and pinpoint where you are though. So grenade, so lumber. Just because it is so open, there's lots of trees around, everything kind of looks the same. But if you spawn on the outside of the map, you can usually see the landmine signs. And all you have to do is kind of move away from them, and then you should be able to find some sort of, I guess, a camp or structure that you can identify. Alright, so just making your way through here, not making too much noise. Still a lot going on over there. We can get to this next hill here because we can overlook the USEC camp to the right. We do have to go there for a quest very soon. I do like to sit up here at times, try and pick off players early on, as people do spawn there. Alright, so probably mid-raid now. Players should have moved on from this spot, but then they're going to start getting some player scavs loading in. Alright, so the camp's just over here. Good spot to find salabers and healing items. Could be a bit risky going over there. We can hop on top of the rock here and look down. Been quite successful from that spot there. It just makes a bit of noise when you do go up there. Alright. I'm going to assume that it's already looted. But seeing as we're out here, it's probably worth checking it out. Because the items that we have here aren't really totally necessary. We'll put that there. I don't know how much this is worth. Okay, we're apparently going to eat it anyway. And we'll probably put that in there too. Just so we've got something. If we do end up dying. Again, another open road here that we need to cross over. Players could be around here or player scavs. We're going to try and go to the base of the rock here. Watching our backs as well because players can be over there. We'll sprint up to the right. Get covered in the trees if they are in the camp. And this is where you can actually jump up onto the rocks here. Low on stamina. Use this while we're regaining stem. And we are up. So there's two small camps here, one to the right. And we're just trying to get that elevation to see information. They will be able to spot you, but I reckon majority of the time they're not really looking up here. They're looking for loot. And there's someone right underneath me. Creeping up on me. Right, we're going to slow walk here. Alright, so we've got the information here. He's looting. I'm going to catch him off guard. Alright, just play a scav. This is where the headphones come in handy. Like as I'm a player, or PMC, I've got the headphones, I can hear his footsteps over mine. Bro, I don't think the scav had headphones. So we're just going to slowly climb down here without trying to break our legs because it can happen. Nice and slowly. I just heard the one. They didn't have headphones on. And he did some looting for us. Oh. They're worth quite a bit on the flea last time I checked. A couple of wipes ago. And Gingy keychain. Nice. And he's got 2 keys in it too. Okay, we're going to take that out. And we are going to put the keychain in there. Keychain we need for the collector quest. It's pretty much the last quest in the game. We'll leave that for the XP. But having these keys is quite handy as well. Especially the USEX stash key, I believe. Good weapon parts over here. Suppressor for the hunter rifle. If you loot these crates here, you can see what it is, like a technical supply crate. So tech loot. You also get some like medical and ration ones as well. So we're pretty much just going to loot this area, and then we're going to head towards the extracts. Here we're getting pretty full. It's been looted. Alright, might quickly head over to this other camp to check the med spawns, because you never know, players could miss something. We don't have to worry about killing scabs either, so we've just done that. So that quest should be ready to hand in. Alright, here's the medical supply crate. I think this one moves. This has like a dynamic spawn. It's not going to have a slayer because it would be vertical. These weapon parts. be good to sell on the flea when we do unlock it. This is where the med spawns happen, so got a Vaseline here. We'll take the other painkillers out, put them there. And then we'll change that to number 7 keybind. Survival and let's go. Oh, running. Another player scav, I think. We need this for a quest as well. And we've dropped a mag because that was in the wrong spot. So we'll probably take the ammo out, probably not worth much. That's worth more. And we'll try and pick up that mag that we dropped over here. So now you just got to try and find where you actually reloaded. Not going to be the end of the world because the ammo's not that great. It's over here. Alright, not a bad raid this one. You can actually put some sights on some of these rails as well. Why did I not go in here? There we go. Why did I not do that? No space. You're kidding me. Imagine if I died then. Alright, I kind of want the survival kit. Nails can go. We'll use that. Because then we'll use a kvass as well. Also need to loot this player scav. Put that there. Alright, we are quite heavy. Nearly overweight. We're actually going to remove that, put the fast MT on, put some vogs, a vog. Anyway, this is where we need to kind of prioritize what we want here. And the vodka's worth a little bit, suppressor. I don't think that's worth much, that might be okay. Click on the mag, as you can be able to rotate it, see what ammo it is. Ammo's not that great. Just press cunt at this point in the game, do we need it? I'd rather take the MC3 out. Really don't need that, that's probably worth more. Size not worth much, we've got the suppressor. We do need another mount for that suppressor, but I think we just want to get this stuff out. That big item is that little scope, the Optimus scope. Probably worth 90k to Therapist alone, but we need it for a quest. As you see, we are very heavy, so we're not actually regaining any stamina. So the best way to go about this is obviously walk. But if you press X, you go prone. Even though you're proning and using your muscles to do it, you're actually gaining your stam back. So we're going to pretty much go to the power lines here. We're just going to work our way to the end of the map, or the edge of the map, towards the outskirts extract. There will be some scab spawning out there. Do our best to avoid them. Got plenty of time left. And as we go into the red, we're just going to go prone again. Now we can drop some items and try and regain that stam again, but I'll show you what it's like to have full gear and low stam. So this is probably the best strategy to do. The reason why I'm sprinting is because it is just so open, and I don't want to be caught out in the open while I'm going prone, but probably the best option for me right now. What I might do is actually use a painkiller, just in case I do get in a gunfight, due to me being so overweight. I don't want like a broken leg or anything where I can't run on it. And as you can see, the screen, like the colours on the outside are changing because I've taken that painkiller. It used to make the screen very flickery and grainy, but I actually changed that. Just looking back at that little area there that I like to look at, to overlook that camp. Get to the tree line and go prone again. So I'm pretty much just going to follow this tree line all the way around the outskirts. I'll probably speed this up a little bit just so not bored watching me go prone. But if I run into a player or a scav, then I'll show you that. Just be careful here, you don't want to go too wide. I just want to stay like just to the left of the power poles, because if you go over too far then you're going to run into the landmines. So I like to stay between the power poles and I guess the rocks here. You can get a bit of loot over here. But generally I find it is safer going across here, because the players are usually going either to that rock here or to this one to loot that. And you're just trying to keep players in front of you. Just again, map knowledge comes in pretty key. So we are playing a bit safer, but it is essential if you want to survive raids and get your gear out. Alright, we have a dead player here by the looks of it. We do. Tag's been taken, door been looted. Drop that just so we're full on meds. And we don't need any of that. Alright, so someone has gone around here. Playing the old save tactic, so that's one of the extracts there as well that you need a key for. We don't have yet. So that is the ZB014. If we had the key for that, we would be able to use it because the green flare is up, but we do not. We do need it for a quest as well, so we'll find one eventually. Usually find them on scavs. Alright, this is where we could come across from scavs, so I'm going to go a little bit wider, not too wide, because you've got the mine signs over here. There's one right there. And as you can hear, the airdrop plane is coming in. So that comes in randomly. We've got like the little scav house over here. I want to get this side just in case there are scavs there. Apologies for the noise. Alright, we're just going to wait here for a second. Let our stam regenerate. Go to the right side of the rocks here, so we're kind of behind that house now. I'm going to get all the way around to the vehicle, which is just on the road over here. And that is the outskirts extract. You'll see once the timer starts happening that we're in the correct area. There have been times where there have been players that have been camping this extract. Just be careful when you are coming down here. Since it is quite late into the raid, there's only 4 minutes to go, there shouldn't be anyone hanging around because there's usually just player scabs that need to get out. We've taken the entire raid pretty much just to play it safe, making use of our time. Not seeing any scabs over here. You usually see them on top of the hill there, and they can aggro you as well. You just hear them yelling out. I'm going to go prone one more time and then get out. Alright, here's the cart up here. See with the bonnet open. Pretty much keep sprinting till it goes green. Alright. Here we go. Decent raid. Pretty big actually. I'm happy with that. And we keep our streak alive too.